Hello, everyone. It's Val. I hope you're all doing okay. Well, here she is. She's completed. I named her Little Tiny, which is kind of not the really actual description of this journal because she's really little chunky. Initially, I wanted to make her to go into this little box because I thought, oh, wouldn't that be so cute? Don't throw the box away. Let's recycle it. Let's use it for, a shipping box for a little tiny journal. That would be so fun. But alas, didn't happen. Look how thick she is. Yeah, okay, so gotta find another box. But anyway, maybe I should have called her Little Chunky. She did start out tiny, as I said. She's just a little bit over 3 inches high, and she's about 4.5-ish in length. She's just 2 signature. I was really trying, guys. I was so trying. She has, between the covers, 96 page sides, but of course, if you count the cover, it's 100. So, yeah, I put a little crinkled seam binding tie closure on her. Pretty pink ribbon. She's got little metal corner protectors, so that's a good thing. A little vintage button here, so cute. If you can see it, my camera doesn't want to focus on that. Let me take it like that there. Maybe that's better. The base fabric that I used is one of the Tim Holtz pink palette fabrics as just the base, but of course I did put quite a lot of bits and pieces of cloth on her for collage. And I stamped the little journal title here on I'm looking through my phone, and I think if I remember correctly, it was on some, it might have been coffee or tea dyed muslin. Yeah, and I had glazed one of the little paper dolls as well. Okay, so let's just open her up so you can see what she is full of. I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't help myself. I stuffed and stuffed and stuffed her to the gills, and oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, not a good idea, but anyway. I had this little tiny letter, and I think it's from 1918. I didn't read the letter. It's folded just as it came. Pretty little handwriting on there. Like I said, I think it's 1918 if memory serves. But anyway, yeah, special, and like they must have cut it with a scissor when they opened it. But anyway, still got half the stamp on her, and a little old photograph and some little bits and pieces there to journal on. I put a lot of cloth in this little tiny journal, and yeah, can't leave well enough alone. So beautiful cloth that I really liked, and decorated probably most every page. I don't know. I stuffed stuff in. I made pockets. Here's some tucks. I think this is a pocket. Yeah, it is, and a tuck on top. So yeah, and then there's stuff in here as well. And used some antique ledger pieces. I think the date will come up as we thumb through. Little clip here. I put a little tiny bag that I made and decorated. There's something in the bag. I think it's a little antique something, but I'm not going to take that out. Little journaling card here that I made. Does this have the date? Yes, 1856. So that's what the ledger page is there, and I think might be in several places throughout, if I remember correctly. A little tuck pocket here, little antique or vintage photograph there, cloth on the paper, and a little pull down here so you have extra journaling space. A little card I stuck in there. some stain papers. This is falling out. But yeah, stuff there. Yeah, I put quite a few photographs in here. Vintage antique photographs and little cloth page, I'll say. Some labels tucked in here. What was my theme on this? It was more of writing or mail or, you know, postal, that kind of thing. So yeah, and this is also a fabric page or cloth page. I hand stitched this little pull here because it was hard to get something in and out without a little pull being on it. So yeah, I thought I'd do that. And I made like a little fan book for extra writing, and it's also blank on the back too. And you can pop this off and, you know, rearrange things however you want. But yeah, I like how that slipped down in there because made it a little bit easier. It was hard to do that without the little pull. And put a little decoration on that as well. And here's another one of those pages that pull down. And in here I have like a little tuck with a photograph. And I think there's something under there too. Yeah, there's more stuff there. So yeah, there you go there. And I think this is a little transparency that I used. So more cloth collage and pretty paper here. I have no idea where this paper came from. Had it for years, and it's time to use it, Val. It is time. Here's a little pocket here where I just tucked something in there that you can put a little note or something on, or put whatever you want in there. Here's more of that ledger. Did we say it was 1856? Something like that. I harvested a piece of a postcard. Probably it was no good, and that was the only good piece on it. And yeah, just tucked that little piece in there. This is a little bit of some Tim Holtz ephemera, I believe. Here's an antique piece right here, a little Victorian die cut. It has a name underneath, but you can also write on it as well, or use it for whatever you wish. Pretty writing, somebody doing some sort of figuring or notations or something like that. Here's a little transparency here too. I put a little photograph behind there and decorated this little pocket, put some antique lace on both sides here. Here's another tuck that I made out of a few pieces I had floating around, and a couple of journaling cards in there. Yeah, isn't that pretty? I love the picture on the fabric of that ship. I thought that was so pretty. And I made a little tuck here with pieces in there. Is this the center? It is. Yeah, the center of the book. And whoops, yeah. And here's some antique lace. And this is also a pocket, and the lace is a tuck. So it's got bits and bobs and pieces there on that handmade paper. I think I had a couple different handmade papers in here. I think, yeah, one pink and one green. And here's some more pieces in here, and that's some vintage stamps that I made a cluster out of. That was kind of fun. Let me push this back so I can push the page. Yeah, so I can there, turn the page, I mean. And some antique stamps there that I just decorated that page with. And some things pinned here, and more things pinned here on this little flip. And yeah. Oh, this is really beautiful paper. This, I penciled in the date because I knew I would never remember, but it was 1843 on that beautiful ledger, and such a gorgeous blue. So yeah, I included that in there. Yeah, I could not stop myself on this book. I kept adding and adding. I got to the point where I thought I was almost done. Then I completely redid it all and added so much more. So this is just another little place to tuck something, but you can also pull that out there if you wish. And that's a little cloth pocket. Here's the center of the second signature. And this little piece was taken out of a Victorian die cut, I think, or it could have been an antique postcard. I don't know. I just harvested that piece and stuck it there. And here's another little cloth pocket with some collage on it. What do we have in here? Oh, yeah. This is really cool. I want to show this to you. Let me see if I can pull this out. I'm looking through my phone, so I can't exactly tell what I'm doing. But yeah, I made a little tag, and then I made a little book to go in the pocket in the tag, and then I put the whole thing in this little cloth pocket. So yes, it says confidential. Should we open it though? Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's be brave and open that. She's just stuffed with all kinds of offcuts, and I'm printed on some onion skin. Took this off the Graphics Fairy site. It's so beautiful, this gorgeous marbling. And yeah, I think this was a little Tim Holtz piece too. So created that. It just slips back in there. There, if I can, yeah, see how that holds that? And then it goes back into that pocket. And this is just a little cloth pocket with some collage on it. Cloth collage, and I think it's got some little paper bits as well over here. Yeah, fun. And see, I did leave blank pages pretty much. Decorated a little bit with some washi. And let's see, oh yes, this is that antique ledger. More things falling out and flipping around because, like I said, I stuffed her full. And so this is I think this is a tucket. Oh, that's a good name. A tucket. Yeah, that's what I'm going to call that, a tucket. And, well, a pocket. So the whole thing, yeah, is a tucket. Here's another little fabric page. I put a little butterfly there and some little bits and pieces there. And this is the pocket in the very back. It's got all kinds of little bits and pieces in there as well. So, okay, I thought, oh, this will be quick because she's little tiny. No, she's little chunky and she's full. So anyway, she's in my Etsy if anybody's interested, and I hope you enjoyed this book that I tried to make a little tiny one but failed. Okay, take care everyone. Bye for now.